Dehydration causes your body to hoard water in your tissues, making swelling worse, not better. The less you drink, the more your ankles balloon. That tightness in your shoes by 5 p.m. The deep ridges your socks leave that take 10 minutes to fade. That is not aging. That is not poor circulation. That is your blood vessels screaming for one mineral they have been starved of for years. Here is a question. When was the last time your shoes fit the same at 7 p.m. as they did at 7 a.m.? Take a second. Think about it. If you cannot remember, you are watching the right protocol. Clinical mineral researchers identified this pattern decades ago. A generation of physicians working in European spa medicine, from Baden-Baden to Budapest, documented something the modern medical system has largely forgotten. Swelling is not a failure of your kidneys. It is not a failure of your heart. It is a failure of your return system. Your blood vessels lack the electrical charge to contract and push fluid back up against gravity. 2 slices of whole wheat bread contain 800 milligrams of sodium. That is before you add anything to it. Your healthy sandwich is a fluid retention bomb. And there's one ingredient, something most people consider healthy, that you are probably eating every morning. It is silently telling your kidneys to lock fluid inside your legs. I will show you exactly what it is in a moment. But here is what no one explains. Reducing salt, drinking less water, and elevating your legs are all treating the symptom. They are mopping up the flood. The actual failure, the reason your body cannot pump fluid back up, is happening inside your blood vessel walls. Let me show you exactly what is broken. The condition is called vessel wall paralysis. Think of it this way. Your lower body is a city built at the bottom of a valley. Rain pours downhill all day, that is gravity. Every second you are upright, fluid is being pushed into your legs by the relentless force of your own body weight. The only way that water gets back out is through pumping stations. Your calf muscles. And a network of drainage pipes. Your lymphatic vessels. But the pumps are running on empty fuel tanks. The motors cannot fire. Water backs up. Streets flood. Basements fill. That heavy, swollen feeling in your ankles by evening. That is a flooded basement. Your blood vessel walls are supposed to contract. That contraction squeezes blood upward, against gravity, back toward your heart. But contraction requires fuel. Specifically, it requires one mineral that acts as the electrical charge for your sodium-potassium pump. Without it, your vessel walls cannot squeeze. They sit there, paralyzed. Bloated with fluid they cannot move. Let that sink in. Your blood vessels are starving for one mineral, and the most common medication prescribed for swelling actually flushes it out of your system. There is a reason diuretics often work short-term but the swelling returns worse. The pills are flushing out the one mineral your vessels need to pump fluid back up. You lose water, yes. But you lose the fuel for contraction at the same time. 3 weeks later, the swelling is worse than before you started. But the mineral deficiency is only half the failure. There is a second system, your lymphatic network, and it does not even have a pump. It has no heart. It relies entirely on muscle movement. If you sit for 8 hours a day, this system is functionally paralyzed. The clinical researchers who pioneered mineral therapy saw this in thousands of patients. They documented how the calcium-magnesium balance in vessel walls determines their ability to contract. Too much calcium, not enough of its counterpart, and the vessel wall locks up. It cannot relax after contraction. It cannot contract forcefully in the first place. Passive elevation does not fix this. You can put your feet up for an hour. But if the pumps have no fuel, you are just letting fluid slosh around without an exit. It is like elevating a clogged pipe. The water redistributes. It does not drain. But here is what most protocols miss. There is a 30-second reset you need to do before applying anything to your skin. Skip this, and you are fighting gravity with a clogged pipe. So now you understand. Your vessels are fuel-starved. Your lymph system is pumpless. And every refined carb you eat seals the exit. The question is, how do you restart a drainage system that has been failing for years? That is where this protocol comes in. And it starts with a 30-second reset most people skip. The healthy morning ingredient destroying your drainage system is not salt. It is refined carbohydrates. Toast, cereal, pastries. Every slice of white bread is like dumping concrete mixed into the drainage grate. The insulin spike from refined carbs tells your kidneys to close the main outflow valve. You are not adding water. You are sealing the exit. You could eliminate the salt shaker entirely and still swell from your breakfast. The 30-second reset is this. Lie on your back. Put your legs straight up against a wall at 90 degrees. Hold for 30 seconds while flexing your calves gently. This uses gravity to pre-drain pooled fluid so the treatment can work on the vessel walls rather than fighting a full pipe. And the mineral that diuretics flush out. The fuel your vessels are starving for. It is magnesium. The solution is a magnesium chloride drainage spray combined with cypress and grapefruit oils. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker. It allows vessel walls to relax after contraction instead of staying locked in spasm. But more critically, it provides the electrical charge that powers the sodium-potassium pump. Without magnesium, vessel walls cannot contract forcefully enough to push fluid against gravity. The ratio is non-negotiable. 1 part magnesium chloride flakes to 1 part distilled water by weight. Add 6 drops of cypress oil and 6 drops of grapefruit oil per 2 ounces of base. Shake before each use. Some will claim topical magnesium cannot absorb through skin. They have never studied the centuries of Epsom salt bath protocols used in clinical rehabilitation. Magnesium chloride specifically has a smaller molecular structure than magnesium sulfate. Research from 2017 demonstrated measurable serum magnesium increases after topical application. I want you to try something right now if you can. Press your thumb into the skin above your ankle bone. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. How long does the dent stay visible? If it is more than 2 seconds, you are seeing the backup in real time. This is the test that tells you this protocol is for you. Dissolve the flakes by placing the closed container in warm water, never microwave. The flakes should fully dissolve with no sediment. Store in an amber glass spray bottle to protect the oils from light degradation. Apply twice daily. Morning after waking, before standing for extended periods. Evening after the 30-second wall reset before sleep. Always apply in upward strokes only, from ankle toward knee, to follow lymphatic flow direction. The magnesium spray gives your vessels their contractile power back. But it is not enough to refuel the pump. You also need to kickstart circulation in the morning and open the lymphatic valves at night. These 2 blends complete the protocol. The morning blend is peppermint and eucalyptus. 2 drops of each in 1 teaspoon of carrier oil, coconut or jojoba. Apply to your calves before your first standing of the day. Menthol activates TRPM8 cold-sensitive receptors in your skin. This triggers localized vasodilation, blood vessels opening wider, and wakes up sluggish morning circulation. Think of it as priming the pumping stations before the workday floods begin. The evening blend is juniper berry and vetiver. 2 drops of each in 1 teaspoon of carrier oil. Apply to inner ankles and behind knees. These are lymph node sites where drainage valves cluster. Some will dismiss essential oils as aromatherapy. They confuse candles with pharmacology. These are not mood agents. Menthol and APO's activation of cold receptors is documented in pharmaceutical literature. European phytotherapy has used cypress for venous insufficiency for generations, not as mysticism but as topical pharmacology. Vetiver specifically reduces cortisol. Lower cortisol means lower aldosterone, the hormone that tells your kidneys to retain sodium and water. This blend opens the valves for overnight drainage. For potassium support to counter sodium, you do not need expensive avocados. Bananas work. Young coconut water works. Spinach works. All provide the potassium required to rebalance the sodium-potassium ratio at the cellular level. Now the warnings. What will cancel everything you just learned? First, refined carbohydrates. Every pastry, every slice of white bread, every bowl of sugary cereal triggers an insulin spike that tells your kidneys to lock the exit valve. You could follow this entire protocol perfectly and undo it with breakfast. Second, passive elevation without muscle activation. Putting your feet up while watching television does almost nothing if you are not engaging your calf muscles. The pumps are off. Fluid redistributes but does not exit. Elevation must be paired with calf flexion, pointing and flexing your toes, or the wall position to activate venous return. Third, aggressive deep tissue massage on swollen areas. Pressing hard into edematous tissue causes microtrauma and triggers an inflammatory response, actually increasing fluid retention. Lymphatic drainage requires light, surface-level strokes that move fluid through superficial vessels. Harder is not better. Harder is sabotage. Ask yourself, how much has this affected your confidence? Avoiding sandals. Hiding your ankles under long pants even in summer. Dreading long flights because you know how you will look when you land. This is not just about fluid. It is about getting your body back. The weekly schedule looks like this. Every morning, wall reset, magnesium spray, morning blend on calves. Every evening, wall reset, magnesium spray, evening blend on lymph nodes. Cut refined carbohydrates. Increase water intake. Engage your calves hourly if you sit for work. Follow this for 7 days. Just 7. And here is what you will notice. 3 weeks from now, you look down at your ankles at 7 p.m. Same size as 7 a.m. You press a finger into the skin. No dent. Your shoes slip on easily, the same shoes that used to strangle your feet by evening. You climb the stairs without that lead weight feeling dragging at your calves. The sock lines. Gone within 30 seconds of removal. Not 10 minutes. Remember the thumb press test from earlier. Do it again right now. Watch the dent. That is your baseline. 30 days from now, you will press the same spot and the skin will spring back instantly. That is the drainage system working again. That is fuel in the pumps. And yes, drink more water, not less. The contrarian truth you learned at the start of this protocol. Your body hoards water when it senses scarcity. Flood it with hydration and it releases the stores. The swelling goes down, not up. Everything you assumed was backward. Your blood vessels are not broken. They are not old. They are not failing because of your age or your genetics or some inevitable decline. They are starving for the mineral fuel that lets them contract. Feed them, and they will pump fluid back up the way they did when you were 30. This is not treatment. This is restoration. You are not managing a condition. You are reversing a deficiency. The body already knows how to drain itself. It has been doing it for decades. It just forgot because you stopped giving it what it needs. You have already taken the first step by watching this far. Most people click away before they reach the protocol. You did not. That tells me something about what you are willing to do. If your swelling has been linked to blood pressure readings creeping higher each year, the next protocol dismantles the arterial mechanism behind both problems. Same mineral system. Different pathway. Same solution waiting in your kitchen. If you want the complete protocol library for restoring circulation from the ground up, you know what to do.